A poll showed that Americans admit to being more scared of clowns than they are of climate change, terrorism, or even death. The history of clowns went way back into the BCE. But now some people are actually terrified of clowns. Scientists are trying to find the real reasons as to why people are scared of clowns. But no one knows when clowns actually became evil, from being called circus clowns to killer clowns. People actually get their fear of clowns from a large range of reasons. I'm Susan, and this is a podcast on the topic of why people are scared of clowns. I have two guest stars, Vrinda and Manashita. Okay, so first topic. Why are people scared of clowns? Manashita, are you scared of clowns?
No.
They scare me. Oh my god, they're like really creepy.
Okay, so in 2017, the It movie, it had the clown Pennywise, right? And everyone was like all scared of it. But professors say that fear of clowns is because of our primal instincts, which is pattern recognition. A professor said, pattern recognition allows to see when things are recognizable but off just enough to where you take caution. That's why a little kid can recognize something as being a little bit dangerous without quite knowing why they know it's dangerous. They recognize it as familiar but not quite the same as what they're seeing. So the second part is the makeup and painted smile. You know, like they have that like red like smile and it looks like they're always smiling even though they're not smiling. So this fake smile makes most people feel uncomfortable. As social creatures, we read each other's emotional cues to interact with one another, to become friends, or even just to make small talk. Imagine trying to talk to a normal person who never stops smiling, even for a moment. So there were some doctors at a hospital, and on the hospital there were like lots of pictures of clowns. So they did like a survey, and statistics show that from a sample of 250 children aged 4 to 16, most are afraid of clowns. So
That's me.
Number 3. So they always exaggerate everything, and they don't act normally, like how they wear like these huge shoes, and then they drive around in those like little tiny cars.
Oh yeah.
And it's so weird. So it says many people think that the huge shoes are weird, and sometimes when clowns ask us to like smile back, it makes us feel awkward. So interesting fact, Johnny Depp was quoted as saying that when he was a child, he had nightmares about clowns. He claims that painted-on smiles make it impossible to figure out if clowns are happy or hiding the fact that they are about to bite your face off.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
So why are you scared of clowns?
How come you're not afraid of clowns?
How come you are afraid of clowns?
Because they have big feet, and big feet scare me.
Well, I have big feet, and that's why they don't scare me.
That's not true. You have tiny feet.
So, while modern clowns are meant to entertain, their predecessors sported in an ancient and sketchy past filled with maniacal behavior, infidelity, suicidal feats, and murder.
That's so scary. Okay,
So,
I have a story. So 2 years ago, I don't know where, but they were saying there were like these kids playing around, and they were saying like there's a clown near like the woods, like saying that if you come to me, I'll give you money. But they never did, because they're smart.
The real excessive scientific reason for the fear of clowns is called coulrophobia. The conclusion from this study is that the children simply find them to be frightening and unknowable.
So does Brenda have coulrophobia?
I don't think so. It's not like a serious like fear. She's just like scared of them. But like I know this like I read somewhere online there was like this lady, she has like a really bad fear of them. Like whenever she sees a clown, she like bursts out crying.
I have a cousin like that. Whenever
it's
he
really
sees it on
serious.
TV.
So our next topic is, how did fear of clowns start? So in the United States in the year 2016, there was something called a clown panic.
Oh, that's what I was talking about my story.
So it had echoes of It's mystical murderous villain, Pennywise. Stephen King certainly didn't invent the evil clown, but he may have helped make Americans paranoid that one could be lurking outside their doors. So, you know McDonald's clown?
Yes.
Like that yellow, like,
Dude.
weird.
Oh yeah, the red-headed dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. The popularity of Bozo the Clown and Ronald McDonald in the 50s and 60s reflected Cold War-era social anxieties, and that Americans were eager for something uplifting and thus wanted an always happy, fun clown. So back then they actually liked clowns, but unlike now.
Mm-hmm.
But the child-friendly clown of that era would morph into a threat in the 1980s, a time of moral panic among parents, when high-profile child abductions, the number of which criminologists found to be inflated, and fears of stranger danger lent a dangerous air to the concept of an adult dressing up to approach a child. That fear was epitomized and solidified by the popularity of Stephen King's 1986 horror novel, It, and the subsequent TV movie adaptation featuring the evil clown Pennywise. So he wrote the actual book in 86, and then there was the actual It movie, but it was in the 1900s, and then last year they made a newer version. The most famous evil clown character is the Joker character from the recent Batman films. So you know how he's like with Harley Quinn, and like Harlequins are actually like a type of clowns too. So
She is?
yeah.
Oh.
In the early 80s, Lauren Coleman coined the term phantom clown to discuss accounts of children reporting individuals wearing multicolored clothes who reportedly were trying to entice school children into coming along with them. Individuals who would reportedly disappear without a trace. In his engrossing book, Bad Clowns, author Benjamin Radford examines the whole history of bad clowns, evil clowns, killer clowns, stalker clowns, and more, which is a shame for the sake of real clown entertainers, not that Radford created the history of people being unnerved by clowns. The rash from 2 years ago of creepy clown sightings, which is called the Great Clown Scare of 2016. So which social anxieties in 2016 can be fueling clown attack reports? There's certainly a lot to be anxious about, but Radford has one theory. There's the increased influence of social media.
I have social media too.
I just use social media to look at stuff.
Like memes
Yes.
and vines.
Yes.
But
and
like,
communicate with
yeah.
people.
folklore, stories, legends, and rumors that might have not gotten much traction years ago can now spread with the click of a button. Topic number 4. Let's talk about when and why clowns originated. So clowns as pranksters, jokers, harlequins, or jesters have been around for ages. In 1768, on the outskirts of London, a former sergeant major in the British cavalry, Philip Astley, presented a show which combined the comedic and acrobatic skills of the clown with the precision of military horsemanship. Immediately popular, what we now call the circus was born. So, have you guys seen the movie The Greatest Showman?
No. I want to,
What?
though. I really, really
It
want
is
to.
so good. You have to see it. So it has like a circus in it too. So it's totally. Clowns who performed as court jesters were given great freedom of speech. Often they were the only one to speak out against the ruler's ideas, and through their humor were able to affect policy. The clown character developed out of the zany, rustic fool characters of the early modern commedia dell'arte, which was themselves directed based on the rustic fool characters of ancient Greek and Roman theater. In ancient Egypt, there was a type of clown called pygmy clowns, which made Egyptian pharaohs laugh in 2500 BCE. Throughout the Middle Ages and early Renaissance, jesters or fools perpetuated the art of clowning in the palaces of kings and great nobles.
What's a pygmy clown?
I don't know, I've never seen them before.
Okay, then we just talked it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Hopi Native Americans had a tradition of clown-like characters who interrupted serious dance rituals with ludicrous antics. Ancient Rome's clown was a stock fool called a stupidus. Like, stupidus?
Yeah.
The court jesters of medieval Europe were a sanctioned way for people under the feudal thumb to laugh at the guys in charge. And well into the 18th and 19th century, the prevailing clown figure of Western Europe and Britain was the pantomime clown, who was a sort of bumbling buffoon. In ancient Egypt, a court clown called Yizi was, according to the lore, the only guy who could poke holes in Emperor Qin Shi Huang's plan to paint the Great Wall of China. So, you probably don't know him, but Emperor Qin was the guy who built the Great Wall of China, right? And he was like this really powerful like emperor of the Ming dynasty. And so I guess this clown was just like not scared at all of getting punished.
Oh, maybe the clown was scary, so the emperor didn't want to do anything.
Although many clowns entertained at court, the vast majority continued to be street performers. They were adept at a variety of skills such as magic, contortion, juggling, acrobatics, storytelling, puppetry, tightrope walking, exhibiting trained animals, ballad singing, and clever dialogue, which is like joking, I guess.
Cool.
Okay, so next topic. Clowns have changed in many ways throughout history. Clowns are almost everywhere these days in popular culture. They can be seen in movies, like It, on television shows, or musical performances, and sometimes just walking in the streets. That's weird. Like, why would you wear a clown costume and just walk in the streets in
Maybe
broad
they're
daylight for everyone to see you?
It was
Maybe they're
scary.
coming back from a circus.
Ugh.
Magnetic.
Clowns are famous for playing foolish and silly characters in a circus. Also, in the 1960s, McDonald's, the fast food business, chose a happy clown to appear in its advertisements. Today, that company mascot, Ronald McDonald, is world famous.
But what if people that are scared don't want to go there? Like Brenda.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they just don't go to McDonald's to eat food.
I never
But that
had
slows down.
McDonald's.
But
The
that
last
slows
time I had McDonald's was from a drive-through, and that was last year.
I haven't had McDonald's since I was like 8 years old.
Oh well.
Did you know that at first clown shows were meant for adults and not children?
What?
Yeah,
Are you
that's
serious?
weird. In fact, clown characters were meant to be a critique of society or projections of the fears and concerns of everyday people. Clowns are perhaps best known for performing in traveling circuses. They have been making crowds laugh for generations, but what they represent in popular culture has changed a lot over the past 400 years. So, have you guys ever been to a circus with a clown?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen, like, when I went to a circus when I was little, like, I saw him, like, juggling, like, balls, and then, he was, like, pulling that thing out of his,
Oh, yeah, like the-
yeah, the long string thing out of his
Yeah.
shirt, and then he kept, like, boinking his, like, red nose, and he was, like, throwing pies at people, and it was kind of weird. It wasn't really funny. It was just weird.
At people.
Yeah. Clowns from Europe arrived in North America after England began exporting circuses with their clowns, other performance, and trained animals. Starting in the early 1900s, circus shows were very successful in the United States. What we now consider a circus clown developed in the 1800s, occurring in several parts of the world around the same time. The first modern circus started in London in the late 18th century at an equestrian school. To add entertainment to the show, the owner, Philip Astley, I said his name before, added a clown. Meanwhile, clown characters were also becoming popular in places like Vienna and the United States. So, have you guys ever heard of a clown college?
There's such thing as a clown college?
I think Brenda should go there.
No.
No, it's where the clowns get like formal training. Like they actually go there to like learn how to become clowns. Which, like, if you think about it, it's kind of weird.
Clowns getting formal training.
Yeah, to be clowns. Clowns began appearing in the form we recognize today in the 17th century as a character known as a harlequin.
Like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, from the Batman films.
Twinsies.
Yeah, they were like diamond-shaped patterns on their clothes. In the 1950s and 60s, the popularity of clowns grew because of television. Bozo the Clown appeared in a number of TV programs for children. In the 20th century, we saw the popularity of clowns continue to grow and a variety of clown characters develop. The famous Charlie Chaplin helped to develop the tramp or hobo type clown, while Dodo the Clown depicted the circus clown as a tragicomic stock character, a funny man with a drinking problem.
That's messed.
All in all, there are many reasons why people are scared of clowns, but they used to just be comical characters in the past. Not all clowns have to be scary unless we picture them to be. These days, the majority of people are terrified of clowns, but if you look at them from a different perspective, they aren't that scary.